Worry lines can run deep. With increasing commodity prices, higher price volatility, and rising input costs, America's farmers rely on crop insurance to protect their crops and livestock. Crop insurance, providing peace of mind now and for the next generation of agriculture.
Congressman, welcome.
Thank you for coming in.
Checking out your biography, you've got quite a diverse background. You've done many things in your adult life. What made the decision for you to strive for this position that you now hold?
Well, it was the frustration of the last Congress in ramming healthcare down our throat and the spending that was going on, and just, you know, the way that Washington seemed to not be responsive to the people. Drove me into the election.
You represent a district that has been so hard hit in the last 5-6 years by natural disasters, Katrina, and then with the oil spill out in the Gulf. Has the federal government done enough to help the people in your district recover?
You know, look, I think that there's a shared responsibility in recouping from any disaster. Certainly the federal government has made some promises when it comes to hurricane protection, which we hope that they will fulfill. You know, one of the biggest problems in South Louisiana is our eroding coastline. And if we simply protected our coastline, we would, that in and of itself is the hurricane protection that we need so desperately down in South Louisiana. And of course, that goes into play with all of the different industries that are vibrant in South Louisiana. Our commercial fishing industry, our oil and gas industry, our agriculture industry, all need a good, solid coastline in order for us to continue to be successful down in South Louisiana.
And what is the federal role in protecting that coastline?
Well, you know, I think that the federal government certainly has a role in that. I mean, the coastline is eroding because of decisions that the federal government has made in the past, and so certainly, if they share in the they should share in the responsibility of fixing it. If it is their action that is causing that coastline to erode. But at the same time, look, at the end of the day, we have to be fiscally prudent here in Washington, and we have to make sure that we prioritize our needs versus our wants. Of course, it's important that we dredge the Mississippi River, or we can't get corn from Iowa out to the markets around this globe that are so important for those farmers to sell their produce. And that's what we haven't done in this federal government. We haven't prioritized our needs versus our wants. We haven't said, look, you know, it's more important to get good hurricane protection and to protect Louisiana's coast. It's more important to do that than it is for straightening the Missouri River for fish. It's more important for us to fix our locks and our dams and to dredge our rivers and our ports than it is to fund hundreds of millions of dollars on studies and programs that don't move America necessarily forward.
You talked about working in sugarcane fields early on in your life. Tell me about agriculture in your district in general.
Well, you know, our district is primarily, from an agricultural standpoint, covers, you know, sugarcane is the predominant crop, rice, soybeans, and some corn are grown in the area. Of course, you know, they harvest crawfish out of the rice ponds. We get a due purpose, and of course get to shoot a little bit of ducks out of them as well. But it's a very rural agricultural area with a good mixture of oil and gas and you know, commercial fishing, like I say, crawfishing, shrimping, and just normal commercial fish.
You are a member of the Tea Party caucus. How would you grade the Tea Party and its influence on this Congress and the various deficit and debt debates we've had so far?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think the Tea Party is not really an organization. It's a movement. It's an ideology that I believe a majority of the people in the Tea Party are 55 or older. And what you see there is that you're seeing the generation that was birthed by the greatest generation. In other words, these are the men and women whose fathers and mothers work from the greatest generation, and they're recognizing that they're leaving their generation with nothing but debt. I think that by changing the discussion in Washington from one of just giving everyone a little bit of what they want and spending way above our means, we're actually forcing people to look at, hey, what is it that built this country? You know, what is it that were the founding pillars of this country? And when we get back to that, I think that we get back to American exceptionalism.
Louisiana 3rd District Congressman Jeff Landry. Congressman, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.